Welcome to the Sharon Vidano Show. This show is a show of inspiration, stories, tools, mindset where you can grow and ultimately live a life you love. Welcome everyone to my show. Welcome to the Sharon Vidano Show. I am so pleased to have our wonderful Leisa Reid here in the house. Whoop, whoop.
Yes, party time.
Yes, so awesome. So Leisa is the founder of Get Speaking Gigs Now and CEO of the International Speaker Network, with a mission to transform public speaking into a soul-filling business growth strategy. She is the go-to talk doula, helping entrepreneurs create signature talks and secure bookings for a lifetime. She has rocked over 600 stages, authored 7 books, and graced the airwaves as a podcast host. And she shares her proven strategies with others so they can make an impact on the world. When she's not empowering entrepreneurs, she embraces her roles as a mom, wife, and a devoted dog lover, all while indulging her passion for live rock concerts and dance fitness classes. On this episode, she will share her #1 secrets that she uses to get her speaking gigs. Welcome, Leisa. So glad you're here.
Yes, I'm so excited. I've been looking forward to being on your show for a while.
Thank you. So I know that you started this network and it's absolutely incredible. So what actually got you into speaking or teaching others how to become speakers on stage? Is that something that you've always wanted to do, or did you kind of just fall into it?
Oh, gosh, that's such a great question. I've always been comfortable with teaching. Even as a kid, I was taking gymnastics and I thought I want to become a gymnastics coach, and I was. I wanted to be a kindergarten teacher. I like always felt comfortable in that role. But I didn't know necessarily what I would teach people. I did actually teach interpersonal communication at Cal State Fullerton when I was in my 20s, like 22 to 24 years old. So, and I loved it. What I didn't love was all the research on the politics, but I loved the actual student interaction and the teaching and teaching people something that's really going to change their life. For me, it was really, really fulfilling. So
Oh,
it it was always there in the background. I don't know if you can relate to that with your own career,
of
but
course.
maybe don't know exactly what it's called until a little later. I would say that would be a good synopsis of how I got there.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Actually, my whole career and the many jobs I've had, I think I was in my 50s and I still kept saying I was trying to figure out what I want to be when I grew up. So,
I
so
can relate
if
to
you
that.
are a budding speaker, what is the first step that someone should take when they have this call to speak? What are your tips?
Yeah, for me, I love working with entrepreneurs who want to use public speaking as a marketing strategy, like I said, soul fulfilling sales strategy, versus like becoming a speaker full time, like that's your profession. For me, I think there's a lot of entrepreneurs out there who just really feel drawn to speaking. There's a desire. I hear people confess that to me all the time. They're saying, like, I've been wanting to do this my whole life. I just never thought I could, or I didn't know what to do, how to get started. So, great question. For me, I always say the first step would be to figure out what you're going to talk about. And I call that get your talk ready to rock. Like you need to have something in mind and start to create it. Otherwise, it's still a living in hopium, it's still not really there yet. You can say that you're going to do it, but you're not really doing it. And I'll hear people say, "Oh, I'm still working on my talk," or "Yeah, I'm gonna be that. I'm gonna do that someday. It's on my list." And I'm thinking, okay, it's really hard to get a speaking engagement when you don't have a talk ready, because that is literally going to be their first question as soon as you say, "I'm a speaker," or "I want to be a speaker," or "I'd like to speak." They're gonna naturally ask you, "Well, what do you speak about?" And so you don't want to say, "Oh, I speak on anything," or saying something really generic. "I speak on mindset." You're like, "No, I want you to have your talk title down, and you're not only down but like memorized, but the talk title memorized, not the talk memorized, but I want you to be like absolutely in love with it too, because that energy, as you know, like translates, right? Like if you're like, "Oh gosh, I hope no one asks me," then you're going to translate that kind of energy. But if you're like, "I am ready to take the stage, hallelujah," then people are going to be like, "Oh, well, we need someone like you." And that's where we want to start.
Thank you so much. And that's really beautiful. And that actually brought me to another question. So you said sometimes, and there's a lot of coaches out there, and I love the coaches. They're all have this beautiful calling to make the world a better place. But many coaches are talking on mindset in general. So would you suggest to really tap into something very within themselves? A speaker would tap into themselves or an experience to really, really bring out I guess the energy in a talk?
Yeah, that's such a great question. So when I work with people, I call it we're going to birth your brilliance, right?
Mm.
So I have quite a few clients who are life coaches or business coaches, that kind of thing, and even some who've gone through similar coaching certification programs. And when they come to me with the generic, like, this is what I learned in coaching school, I say, no, we're not talking about that because it's already done. Like, it's already, but what I am interested in is your perspective on that coaching model, your perspective on all the people that you've helped or that you're working with, because usually you become a coach for a reason. There's something that occurred or some insight that you have that makes you uniquely you. And that's where the brilliance is. It's not in the framework of someone else's framework. It's like how you see it. I had a client the other day that I was helping, and he's a hypnotherapist, and I've had other clients as hypnotherapists, and he just has this really brilliant way with words. He combines all of his background, and I want to keep it confidential, so I'm not going to say what he does, but he keeps all of his background helps to bridge the success he gives for clients. So it's his perspective, is his attitude, it's his religion as well. That makes him uniquely him, but also is going to attract the type of people that he wants to work with, that he can help the most. And everyone's different. Like, I think we sometimes think, I don't know, Sharon, if you get this, but we have to be everything to everyone. No, 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 no. Like, just be the more you as possible, and the people who you can help the most are going to come to you.
Yeah, and I think that's I'm slowly, not slowly, that's really pinging me right now is yes, coaches can help everyone, yes, in general. But when you really start to hone in on what really is your true message that is connected to yourself, that's really going to bring the attraction to you. So like I mentioned before the call, I am part of a beautiful network of coaches, and many of them are budding and many of them are looking for speaking gigs. How do you even go about starting to find a speaking gig?
Yeah, I think it's like, to me, shooting fish in a barrel, right? But so I'm glad you asked, and I always find it funny that it's hard. Um, so first of all, get your talk created. That will help you identify, oh, where should I start looking? The good news is there's tons of speaking engagements. The bad news is there's tons of speaking engagements. And so it's almost like really narrowing down and being okay with narrowing down, where is your niche? What type of gigs are you looking for? What would match your audience, right? What would match your call to action, or like whatever that next step is? What matches your business? What matches your lifestyle? What matches your personality? For example, I have one client who lives out in the middle of nowhere. She's more a healer. She's very woo woo. And she isn't physically near any big speaking opportunities. So her paradigm is going to be more smaller groups, virtual groups, probably women's groups, right? And as I'm sharing this, like, hopefully people are right. Like, oh yeah, I would love that. Now, flip side, I have another client who is an executive coach. He's been in high level, C-level corporate positions, very, very comfortable in the corporate space, has a network of corporate C-level people, lives in a big city. He's going to have a different speaking paradigm and different clients than the other person. So it's like, once you identify, like, who are my people, where are they hanging out, and how do I want to get there? Like, do I want to travel or do I not want to travel? Those are big decisions that you can make, and you can do it however you fit, however fits you. You don't have to do it like anybody else.
And that's beautiful. And I know that many coaches, when they're just starting out, it feels like I'll just take whatever gig I can get. But the reality is you go where your clientele is basically hanging out. I think that's the big
Yeah, you want to,
takeaway.
like, It's like a risk, but you want to take a calculated risk. Like if you think, okay, who's in the audience? Are those people I could serve who would feasibly, buy my stuff or sign up with me or whatever? And if it's a yes, well then that's a pretty good indicator that it's a good opportunity. One of the big, and I wasn't planning on sharing this, but one of the biggest mistakes I think budding speakers or entrepreneurs make is paying to, we call pay to play in the industry, where you pay to speak somewhere because you quote unquote want visibility, want to quote unquote get your name out there, want to quote unquote pay your dues. That's a very big red flag for me.
Mm,
I think that if you do not have a proven concept, then I would be extraordinarily hesitant to do a pay to play.
mm.
That would be, in my opinion, for people who already have a proven concept. This helps me get clients. I know if I step into this room, I'm going to get XYZ in return. Not for a new person.
Got it. That makes sense. Thank you so much for sharing that. And that the what I'm really hearing is that when you really just hone in on, again, it's all going back to who you are and what and your big why and why you're doing that. And when you really want to go where to serve the people that you are really have that calling to do so, it's like it's a win-win for both sides, obviously. So, oh, thank you so much. So, takeaway, what is your biggest number one tip for getting booked consistently as a speaker nowadays?
Oh, yes, I did say I was going to, you did say I was going to share that. For me, it's a concept that came organically and then now has given, I mean, I'll just speak personally, hundreds of speaking engagement referrals where the carpet's literally rolled right on out for me and I don't have to Google search, chat GPT search, or cold call or cold email or cold whatever to get those engagements. And I think that's a big issue for people who are trying to get speaking. They're like, okay, I need a list. Again, a little bit of a danger zone, red flag. A list is not going to make or break you as a speaker.
Mm,
Because if you don't, you might have the wrong list, number one. You might never reach out to the list, number two. You might be reaching out to the list in the incorrect way, number three. Number four, people don't really like doing that anyway. It's not the funnest way to get speaking engagements. So for me, I call it the speaker soulmate system. And a speaker soulmate is basically like a referral partner for you, but just for speaking. Like, don't need to worry about clients, but like, what if you've had a speaker soulmate, two or three, and think of it as like a best friend type of a metaphor? Like, you can have lots of friends, of course. You can have lots of people you're in contact with, absolutely. Could they refer you? Yes. But your close friends, your best friend circle is probably a little smaller. Some people one, two, maybe three. And so a speaker soulmate is number one, someone that speaks a similar frequency as you. Like maybe they're kind of in the same leg of the journey as you. Number two, someone you know, like, and trust. Doesn't mean you need to know them forever, but just, like you and I
mm,
haven't known each other that long, but you can tell when someone's got a good vibe and you're like, oh, I like to be around that person. And then you start to get to know them and you can build trust quickly, actually.
yeah.
But number three, and this is the part that I think people often don't always connect the dots on, that they speak to a similar audience that you do, but not about the same thing.
Mm,
And it doesn't mean that you can't refer people who speak about the same thing or anything like that, but it just makes it easier. So imagine, Sharon, you're speaking to a group in May and they need a speaker for June, and you and I have a similar audience. You can be an asset to that group right away. You say, actually, I know an amazing speaker. She could speak to your group, or you should reach out to her for future bookings. And then everybody wins, or vice versa. I could easily do the same, right? And it
yeah.
just makes it more fun. It makes it easy. Like it's a win-win-win, which is awesome. I don't know
Yeah.
why everyone's not doing that.
No, and then that's beautiful, and that speaks to one of the things that I like to believe is that our universe is very abundant. So there really is no competition. Is that we can just help each other because our clients are already picked out for us. We have our own signature and our own vibration, and it's just getting our word out there so that we can send that energy out there so that they can find us. So
100%.
yes, so I love that. So I love this talk, Leisa. If any of my listeners want to get a hold of you, how can they get a hold of you or get more information?
Yeah, if you're entrepreneur and you're thinking, oh my goodness, I've been dying to do this. I want to do this so bad. You can go to getspeakinggigsnow.com/tips, and that will get you some free tips. It's the 5 top tips to get more speaking gigs now. And I shared like one or two today, but there's more. And again, that's getspeakinggigsnow.com/tips.
Very good. I will make sure to put that in the description as well. And thank you, Leisa, for coming on my show. I'm sure my listeners would just love all the tips that you give, and I just wish you the best and keep doing what you're doing. And I'm loving being part of this network and growing as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you for coming to the Sharon Vidano Show. I hope you had an amazing time, and I hope this episode served you. My intention is to help you live a life you love. If you love this show, please like, subscribe, and tell your friends, and I'll see you in the next episode.